Hello and welcome to Top This, the show where we bring you the best things to see and do across BC. And on this week, we're on a mission to find the best kids activity. Who better to judge than kids themselves? This week we're at the BC Wildlife Park here in Kamloops, and I've got my nieces and nephews along for a little fun and animal adventure. On the show we'll also hear from Vernon, Williams Lake and Prince George, but first we're headed over to the Kootenays where reporter James Farnan has found an activity that not only takes kids back in time, but also back to the classroom. James?
Thanks, Sam. Well, today we're at Fort Steele Heritage Town just outside of Cranbrook, and we're going to get a taste of what school was like back in the 1890s. For this kids' activity, we're going to check our phones at the door, so I'm going to go and do that. I'll catch you at the school. So this is Marisa Lagu, or in school she's Miss Bailey, and make sure you address her correctly. Now Marisa, tell us a little bit about what's going on here today.
So here we get school kids, they come into the schoolhouse and they learn what it's like to be in an 1890s classroom. So they come in, they get to sit at their old-fashioned desks and write on their little slates with their little pieces of chalk, things like that. And they'll learn a little bit about the history of Fort Steele, about the area, about why the town is here. They'll also learn about the proper way to behave inside of a Victorian schoolhouse.
Also, one of my rules that I forgot to mention, I don't want anyone's elbows or faces on the desk, just your hands. If you can't help yourself, then sit on them.
We're just trying to teach people a little bit about how school used to be back 100 years ago, 110 years ago. How school used to be, it was not a place where you'd go and always be giggling, it was a place to learn. So you were there, you were on your best behavior. It was still a happy place, things like that, but you weren't there to be silly.
Did you just throw that piece of chalk?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
No, how did it get up there?
He did it.
He did it, now you're accusing other students. Come up to the front. Into the corner.
What do you find are the responses from some of the kids? Are they really surprised at what it was like back in 1898?
The kids are usually very surprised. They usually have difficulty writing with chalk on slates. Their writing gets a lot more messy than it normally is. They're also either very frightened or very giggly.
Good heavens, you're absolutely ridiculous. You'll have to sit you by yourself somewhere. In the meantime, won't you have a slate pencil? You're going to write out 100 times on that slate. Yes, you're going to write it 100 times.
What?
I will not misbehave.
What do you think of this class?
I think it's pretty creepy
Yeah? Why?
because you can get lashed. Our teacher isn't as strict and we don't get in trouble as much.
What are you scared of in this classroom?
The whip.
Oh man.
7 times. You counted and didn't say anything until the 7th time. But you've misbehaved quite enough for one day to stop you from continuing to poke the young man in front of you. Come up here. Nose in the circle. You can't return to your seat till I've given you permission.
Are you being cheeky?
You said no. That was him. Up in the corner. All right. The rest of you hopefully are going to be a little better behaved. We'll be doing some mathematics, some measurements, conversions, things like that. Also a little bit of geography and, of course, some etiquette. Boys! Both of you, dunce cap off. You, both, outside now. Silence, young man, or you'll be out there as well. I absolutely do not condone the use of such behavior in my schoolhouse. You, hands now.
Do you believe it was like this?
No, not really.
You believe that they would give you the lash?
It's really different.
Did you see me in the corner there?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. Your friends got me in trouble.
You did.
You guys got me in trouble. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
You threw your chalk right there.
I did not. It was you.
No. I have only piece of chalk right here.
Well, it wasn't me.
Well, then who was it?
I think it's really great for them to come and learn how school used to be. I think it's a nice eye-opener for them because a lot of times, you know, their parents or their grandparents, they'll be sitting there going, oh, when I was a kid and I went to school, things weren't like this. But then they actually get to come here and experience how different school actually was.
And this is just one of many great activities for kids here at Fort Steele Heritage Town. To get all the info, check out fortsteele.ca.